Editor Vuyo Mvoko, who is at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Vuyo, very good afternoon to you. Quite a bit of pomp and ceremony at Pretoria as we welcome the neighbouring statesman, his first visit in 2 decades. Take us through the agenda or the objective for his visit.
Yes, indeed. Earlier there was a lot of the pomp and ceremony, but it was much shorter and less glamorous than it was supposed to be. All, of course, because of the weather. There was a fear that there was a 75% chance of rain at that time, so it wasn't quite as what the two nations would have wanted it to be. But all of that is behind us now. The focus is on a briefing that is supposed to start any time from now, which will be addressed by Presidents Jacob Zuma and Robert Mugabe. We've been waiting for that for almost an hour now. It was supposed to start at 12 o'clock, and that is where we will get a chance to actually put some of the questions around the agenda of the meetings that they have had today, what it was that they discussed, and where whatever it is that they will have discussed will take the two nations.
Now, Vuyo, the economies of the two countries are historically and inextricably linked. So Zimbabwe's economy has been in a tailspin. Is this something that's going to take a key focus? Late last year, Zimbabwean finance minister led a team to South Africa to try and convince investors that the Zimbabwean economy was on the up. So are we looking to hear something more about this?
Well, certainly, that's from what we are being told here. Apparently, there are South African companies that have already raised several issues with the South African government. Among those issues, some of them are saying they haven't been paid. In other words, Zimbabwean entities that they are working with haven't paid them. And from information gathered by some South African companies, but also other people who are playing in the Zimbabwean space, they reckon the Zimbabwean government has not been able to balance its books. All those things put together are raising a fear that there may just be a meltdown in that country. All those things, of course, haven't been confirmed, but that fear is lingering, because you cannot have a situation where people who are doing business there and against a backdrop of like seeking to increase your investments in that country, those who are already there cannot be paid. So that issue is firmly on the table, we are told. Another issue that is on the table is the one of what South Africa regards as a unilateral imposition of trade tariffs. The argument that the Zimbabweans are apparently making is that trade at the moment is skewed in South Africa's favor, and South Africa is gaining while the Zimbabweans themselves don't seem to be benefiting from South African businesses' presence in that country. They say we go there, erect malls, we go there and do business, but Zimbabweans get to benefit less and less. Not surprising, because you're looking at almost 25 billion versus 2 billion. So trade is indeed skewed in South Africa's favor, and both parties agree that that should come to an end. But where South Africa disagrees is whether the unilateral imposition of trade tariffs is the way to go. How far they would have gone in dealing with that issue is hopefully we will hear from the two heads of state as to whether that issue was indeed on the table and whether they've managed to find some kind of a resolution to it, Natasha.
All right, Vuyo, thank you very much. That's Vuyo Mvoko live from Pretoria, but I'm sure we will be crossing back to him for more details later on throughout the day. Well, to Durban now, where police used rubber bullets to